Take two. Hi, my name is Mike Leader. I've been a student of the United States government for well over 30 years. And I wanted to read this today because I don't think enough people have read the Declaration of Independence. It's important for us to know where things come from. And yes, I know our founding fathers, many of them were slavers, they're rich people. And it was commonly believed by a lot of folks, and incorrectly, that they didn't want to pay their taxes. No, they founded this country on ideals that are important for us to understand today. And let's get into it. I'll try and keep my opinions to myself about things. I may remove a couple pieces. There's something about Native Americans I do not like, and it shouldn't be there, but that was the times. So hopefully you listen to this and get something out of it. In Congress, July 4th, 1776. The unanimous declaration of the 13th United States of America. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. That, whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Prudence, indeed, will dictate that governments long established should not be changed for light and transient causes, and accordingly all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evil is sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. But when a long train of abuses and usurpations, pursuing invariably the same object, evinces a design to reduce them under the absolute despotism, it is their right, it is their duty, to throw off such government, and to provide new guards for their future security. Such has been the patient sufferance of these colonies, and such is now the necessity which constrains them to alter their former systems of government. The history of the present King of Great Britain is a history of repeated injuries and usurpations, all having in direct object the establishment of an absolute tyranny over these states. To prove this, let facts be submitted to a candid world. Here are the redresses that are important. Please pay attention to how they relate to today. I'm sure that you can hear these, and I will explain some later if necessary. He has refused the assent to laws, the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has forbidden his governors to pass laws of immediate and pressing importance, unless suspended in their operation till his assent should be obtained. And when so suspended, he has utterly neglected to attend to them. Someone is making laws and not caring about us. He has refused to pass other laws for the accommodation of large districts of people, unless these people would relinquish the right of representation in the legislature, a right inestimable to them and formidable to tyrants only. Look at what happened recently with the housing bill. He has called together legislative bodies at places unusual, uncomfortable, and distant from the depository of public records for the sole purpose of fatiguing them into compliance with his measures. He has dissolved representative houses repeatedly for opposing with manly firmness his invasions on the rights of the people. Manly firmness. He has refused for a long time, after such dissolutions, to cause others to be elected, whereby the legislative powers, incapable of annihilation, have returned to the people at large for their exercise, the state remaining in the meantime exposed to all the degrees of invasion from without and convulsions from within. He has endeavored to prevent the population of these states for that purpose, obstructing the laws of naturalization of foreigners, refusing to pass others to encourage their migrations hither, and raising the conditions of new appropriations of lands. Don't pay attention to appropriations of lands. He has tried to remove migrants to our country. He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing his assent to laws for establishing judiciary powers. Clarence Thomas. He has made judges dependent on his will alone for the tenure of their offices and the amount and payment of their salaries. He has erected a multitude of new offices and sent hither swarms of officers to harass our people and eat out their substance. ICE. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislatures. ICE. He has affected to render the military independent and superior to civil power. He has combined with others to subject us a jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws, giving his assent to their acts of pretended legislation. For quartering large bodies and troops among us, just you wait. For protecting them by mock trial from punishment for any murders which they should commit on the inhabitants of these states. ICE. For cutting off our trade with all parts of the world. Tariffs. For imposing taxes on us without our consent. Tariffs. For depriving us, in many cases, of the benefits of trial by jury. Habeas corpus. For transporting us beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. For abolishing the system of English laws in a neighboring province, establishing therein an arbitrary government, and enlarging its boundaries so as to render it at once an example and fit instrument for introducing the same absolute rule in these colonies. I'm sorry, this is about Canada. I love our Canadian neighbors. For taking away our charters, abolishing their most valuable laws, and altering fundamentally the forms of our governments. For suspending our own legislatures and declaring themselves invested with power to regulate us for in all cases whatsoever. He has abdicated government here by declaring us out of his protection and waging war against us. He has plundered our seas, ravaged our coast, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. He is, at this time, transporting large armies of forced mercenaries to complete the works of death, dissolution, desolation, and tyranny, already begun with circumstances of cruelty and perfidy scarcely paralleled to the most barbarous ages, and totally unworthy the head of a civilized nation. He has constrained our fellow citizens he has constrained our fellow citizens taken captive on the high seas to bear arms against their country, to become the executioners of their friends and brethren, or to fall themselves by their own hands. And I skipped the next paragraph because it's insensitive to our Native American brothers and sisters. They didn't know what they were saying. In every stage of these oppressions, we have petitioned for redress in the most humble tenets. our repeated petitions have been answered only by repeated injury. A prince, whose character is thus marked by every act which may define a tyrant, is unfit to be the ruler of a free people. This next long paragraph is about how they warned the British legislature and parliament about what was going on and how they just didn't care. We therefore, the representatives of the United States of America in General Congress, assembled, appealing to the Supreme Judge of the world for the rectitude of our intentions, do, in the name and by authority of the good people of these colonies, solemnly pursue and declare that these united colonies are, and of right ought to be free and independent states, that they are absolved from all allegiance to the British Crown, and that all political connection between them and the state of Great Britain is and ought to be totally dissolved, and that, as free and independent states, they have full power to levy war, conclude peace, contract alliances, establish commerce, and to do all other acts and things which independent states may of right do. And for the support of this declaration, with firm reliance on the protection of divine providence, we mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. Signed, a lot of folks. And again, a lot of these people were rich. A lot of them were slave owners. And it wasn't about them not paying their taxes, as you can hear. A tyrant destroyed their livelihoods, their people. And it wasn't just the rich people, it was everybody else too. We as a nation have to work together. This is not a matter of red or blue. This is a matter of us trying to solve our problems. And the first problem is to fix the government. It's been altered and changed over the past 10 years dramatically. And we have the right, as declared by our own Declaration of Independence from Great Britain, to alter and abolish it as necessary. I'm going to get down off my soapbox now. If this helped anybody to understand and to care a little bit more, then I'll feel a bit of success. Thank you very much for your time.